Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Game of Thrones. In a different location. If you haven't seen my reaction to the Season 3 trailer of Stranger Things, I will go ahead and say that I don't have overhead lights in my room anymore, and that's where I normally record these. So, yeah, it's incredibly dark in my room. I've got lamps, but that's not enough. So, now I'm back in a dining room kitchen, basically. Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah, it's weird, but until I can get those lights fixed, this is what we're gonna have to deal with. So, yay. Last time on Game of Thrones, we had the Mountain and the Viper, where basically, now what all did we have? We had basically a bunch of stuff. Sansa was kind of vouching for Baelish on the whole, Lysa Arryn is dead. Jorah was basically kicked out of Daenerys' gang after she learned that he was basically a spy for Westeros. Excuse me, I'm a little sweaty. We had Ramsay Snow become Ramsay Bolton due to his success in taking back the North from the Ironborn. And then at the end we had the championship, or the champion match between the Mountain and the Viper, Oberyn Martell, where Oberyn was actually winning for a while. He could have actually won, but he screwed up, and then he died. That's it. That's just it. So, yeah, Tyrion has now been sentenced to death. So we'll see if he can get out of that or not. I have no idea if he can, but we will find out. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. Let's stick to this episode and previous episodes of Game of Thrones that I've reacted to. And yeah, with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Game of Thrones. It's episode 9, so this ought to be good. Here we go. Kit Harington. Oh god, we're starting with Kit Harington. So there's no Lannisters in this one.
What was she like?
She had red hair.
Oh? How big were her feet?
What do you want me to
I
say?
want you to tell me what it was like to have someone. And she never offered.
But if she had, you would have.
Probably.
You'd have broken your vows.
Well, that is the thing, is the vows.
Father, no children's very specific.
Yeah.
But what our vows have to say about other activities is open to interpretation.
That's true.
I don't think Sir Alistair cares much for interpretation.
That's also true. Alistair just cares that he can get you, basically.
I don't. Love her.
Yes, you do.
No.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's got you
I
there.
heard it in your voice when you first brought her to me. I remember how it sounds.
Open the gate!
You can't.
Sam, is that you?
Yes!
The Thorn gave me strict orders to not open the gate.
Oh, Pip! Open the fucking gate!
Yeah. Damn.
I've never heard you curse before.
Yes, well, let's get used to it.
Sam's serious about this. One. 2. Wildlings. They're here. Is that the fire? That's his fire? Oh my gosh! The biggest fire the North has ever seen. He's here.
We should have sealed the tunnel while we had the chance, like you suggested.
Oh,
It was a difficult decision either way, sir.
someone's coming around.
But I had to do something. I didn't have any choice. It was going to kill Gilly and take the baby.
Yeah.
If someone had asked me my name, right then, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, it's kind of an
I
adrenaline
wasn't
thing.
Samuel Tarly anymore.
So we're not going for the whole stealth, we're just gonna go. I mean, I guess they don't need stealthing, just go. Wait, is that a giant? Oh! It's a giant on a mammoth. That is ridiculous. But I love it. That's so weird.
I said knock and hold, you cunts!
Yeah.
Does knock mean drop? No, sir!
No,
Does
sir.
fucking hold mean fucking drop? No, sir! You all plan to die here tonight? No, sir! That's very good to hear! Draw!
You know what? To his credit, they clearly don't know what they're talking about.
Tonight, we fight! And when the sun
Yeah.
rises, I promise
Rally
you,
the troops.
Castle Black will stand! The Night's Watch will stand! With me now! Now, with me!
Oh my gosh. To Alistair's credit, he can really rally the troops. Oh man. So what are their plans exactly? Oh, well, I guess they can, bust through the tunnel, but still.
4 inches of cold rolled steel.
Those are giants riding mammoths down there!
Yeah.
You think your cold rolled steel's gonna stop them?
No such thing as giants.
Look down there!
Just got word that Sir Alistair needs you below. The most experienced man he's got said he needs you.
Need it below.
Yeah. And he doesn't want to be on the wall. Alright, John, you're in charge. Whoa. That's pretty ballsy, John. Oh, I would hate to have that job, though. Freaking perpendicular archers, that's amazing. Uh-oh, a giant with a bow and arrow. Oh! That's pretty powerful, too. Oh! Oh, that dude's going for a ride. You know what? That's an interesting way to go, I guess. Is he leaving? Oh crap, that's where Gilly is. Ooh, this is a nice fight. I really like this. Oh! Dang it, Alistair. Ah, crap. Uh-oh, bald dude. Oh! Nice! Oh, are those explosions? Yes! Oh, screw you and your friggin' mammoths. Forgot the name for a bit. 6 versus a giant.
Now my watch begins. It shall not end until my death. Walls, I am the shield.
Stick your swords out or something. Oh. God, I hope they made it.
I don't want you out there. I need him more than I need you.
Oh. He needs Ghost. That's interesting.
We need you, boy.
Alright, Ghost, time to kick some ass. Oh! Oh! I mean, that's a good idea, getting Ghost out there. Oh, crap. Alright, come on, John. Oof. This is like the best fighting this show has had. Oof. Oh! Good God Almighty. Oh! Nice shot, John! You gotta keep going, that's the problem. Aw, crap. She gonna do it? Oh! Oh, the kid. Nice shot, kid.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Aww. That's her last words. Aww. And she hesitated too. Oh, use the wall against them. Oh! The wall was built that way. Oh! Nice. Well, so
It's over.
they've won.
Put him in chains. We'll question him later.
Yeah, probably a good idea to question him.
Throw you!
Okay.
We held them off.
For one night.
Yeah.
This is a great victory.
It's a start.
Great victory. He united 100 warring tribes. Without Mance, they lose their leader. They
Huh.
lose their purpose. They go back to fighting each other, scatter back to their home.
An assassination. That's interesting.
You're going to kill him.
We're gonna try.
We'll never let you within 100 yards of him.
It's a bad plan.
But it's all they have.
What's your plan?
They don't have any other plan. That's really risky, man. Oh, they did it. They did actually kill the giant. At the cost of their own lives.
I promised Mom I'd never lose it again.
Yeah. Keep the sword safe.
In case I don't come back.
Yeah. You're not gonna take any sort of a sword? Jeez, man. This is such a ballsy plan. And that's it. That's the end of the episode. Wow. That was an episode 9, alright. Okay. That was interesting. That was an all-out war. Well, at least that was an all-out battle. That was only a battle. The war continues. So... I don't think that this will continue for the rest of the series, but there is at least a pattern in these first four seasons. Is that in the odd-numbered seasons, being 1 and 3, episode 9, the climax episode, seems to revolve around someone dying, and generally at the end of the episode. Whereas the even-numbered seasons, being 2 and 4, are focused on a battle. Because in Season 1 and Season 3, we had the deaths of Ned Stark and Robb Stark. Whereas in seasons 2 and seasons 4, we've had the Battle of the Blackwater, and now the battle at Castle Black. So, interesting. I don't know if that's going to keep going. I don't know if that's going to keep going or not. But, yeah, it's definitely an interesting thing to notice, that you can at least notice a pattern in these seasons. All right. Let's go over my notes. This is interesting, and the thing is, because this was completely focused on Jon and the Night's Watch. Like, we didn't have any of the Lannisters, we didn't have Stannis, we didn't have Daenerys, we didn't have anything. Just the battle at Castle Black, basically, which is interesting. First off, I don't know if we've ever really had an episode that was just focused on one storyline happening at one place. I don't know if that's really happened before. And not only that, we have not had a full episode or anything this long with Jon. We just haven't. We haven't had this much stuff with Jon, basically. So, yeah. So that was really interesting, and it really did. It was also kind of interesting because we weren't necessarily building it up. Like, we had some scenes about it, but, like, you know, they were just scenes here and there throughout the season. The season was primarily focused on the death of Joffrey and finding out who did it. And this episode, the climax of this whole season, has nothing to do with that at all. So, yeah. Really, really interesting concept. I really did like that. The first thing I wrote down was Ygritte and Jon. So, would she have killed Jon? I don't know. I don't know if she would have actually brought herself to kill Jon. But she did seem very determined, especially at the beginning of the episode. She did seem very determined that she was going to kill him because he betrayed her. So, would she have actually killed him? I don't know, but she was hesitating. And then, obviously, she ended up dying. So, that does suck that we lost her, and we didn't really get I don't know, it's like we didn't get a resolution to that plot line, almost. But that's very... It kind of makes sense. It almost like that is the resolution, that there is no resolution. It's like, yeah, well, it just... That plot line's over. It's just over now. But I don't feel unsatisfied or anything. I feel like that kind of works. You know, was she going to let Jon go? Was she going to kill Jon? We don't know. All we can speculate on it, at least. You know, that's the thing. It's not that, you know, he turned and looked and there she was and then immediately she got shot. It's he turned and looked and she already had her bow drawn. And it was a good solid, 10, maybe 15 seconds of her just kind of looking and not, releasing the arrow. And then she died. So it's like, we can speculate. It's like, okay, well, she hesitated there. It's like, why did she hesitate? We really don't know. But at the same time, it's like, well, but that still works, basically. So, yeah. It still works as to a resolution of their story, despite the fact that it doesn't resolve anything. We don't know if she was going to let him go or if she was going to kill him. All we know is she hesitated. So that's interesting. I wrote down Maester Aemon. Interesting. It was cool to kind of hear about, not exactly his backstory, because we already got that in season 1. Just revealing that he is, Aemon Targaryen, and he was going to be the king. So that kind of served as his backstory, but this was just a bit more, I don't know, it was just kind of fun hearing about his past. When he was a young lad and, he got all the attention of the girls being the future king. So, yeah, that's also pretty cool and interesting. And then the fact that he can pretty much read Sam and know exactly what he's thinking and everything like that did really work too. So, yeah. I wrote down Mance's fire. He did say, that I'm going to light the biggest fire the North has ever seen, and he did. He lit a gigantic-ass fire, and so he kept his promise. That's cool, and I like that sort of gives not exactly a backdrop, because a lot of the episode was focused on, that fire is in the distance, and we have, it's like that fire is in the distance, and we're mostly focused on what's here at the wall and what's over the wall at Castle Black. But it does work. It's a nice, it's just a way of showing, hey, I'm here, this is war, So that works. I wrote down the mammoth. Did they show that they had mammoths? I don't remember, actually. Because when they went to the wildling camp, they obviously made special note of the giants. Because there was, a giant who had, a big, thing of wood, and he was basically staking it into the ground with his own hand, because that's how strong he was. But I don't remember if they actually showed, mammoths or not. I don't think so, but maybe, who knows. I wrote down Alistair, Sir Alistair Thorne. Okay, and now, obviously, I don't like the character of Alistair Thorne. I think he's a prick, basically. But at the same time, you're supposed to think he's a prick. But I will say that despite how big of a prick he is doing his job. He's trying to do what he's supposed to as Lord Commander of the Night's Watch, or acting Lord Commander, I suppose. So it's he's doing what he can, and again, to his credit, it's he's down there, he's fighting all the wildlings. He took on, I never remember the name of the big bearded dude, but he actually took him on. He was able to fight him off for a little bit before getting hit. And yeah, it's interesting. And then obviously the moment where it's he's getting pissed that no one knows how to actually follow his orders of okay, knock and hold, not draw back, just hold. So yeah, that was kind of funny. I wrote down the archers. We had a lot of archer stuff in this, which is good and makes sense. In these battles, archers are very important because they are ranged. You can take out a decent amount of enemies from a distance without, losing any of your men. But I do we had the whole, just normal archers, and a lot of them had flaming arrows, which was cool. But we also had people with the crossbows, which was good. There was that one guy and Sam. They were both using crossbows, and they landed pretty good hits on people. And then I like when they were climbing. People were climbing up the wall, so they tied a brother of the Night's Watch, basically tied him up to a lever and had one guy hold them, and then they they basically did a Michael Jackson lean off of the wall, which has to be terrifying. And then they were shooting people on the wall, or shooting people off the wall. So that was also really clever, very creative, and I did really appreciate that. I wrote down Commander, because it's it is interesting because, Alistair is supposed to be the acting Lord Commander, basically. And eventually he gets injured, so the next person would be the guy who was the commander of the City Watch at King's Landing. So that's also interesting. But then that guy just leaves. Or not, he doesn't really, he doesn't leave, but he hides. He hides in that one place where it's Sam was okay, you will be safe here. Gilly, you will be safe here. And he goes and he hides in there. And it's what? why would you do that? That's, you friggin' coward. And that's the interesting thing too, because when Alistair went down to take on the wildlings at the castle, he gave command of the wall to this guy, and he was like, what? I don't want to do this. And it's like, so when he got the word, the word that Alistair wanted him down there, despite the fact that was just a lie to get rid of this guy because he sucked. But when he got the word, he was like, yes, I should go down there. It's like, okay, I guess I will. And he goes down, and it's like, and yeah, he doesn't want to be down there either, and he just goes and he hides. Like, what a coward. This guy sucks. And then basically just after that, pretty much leadership has fallen to Jon because they trust him, because they know that he will be a good leader, basically. So that's interesting. I wrote down Ghost. That was clever. I didn't even think about that Jon would release Ghost, and Ghost would go, attack wildlings, which that's really clever. That is incredibly clever. I do like that. Yeah, because I mean, we've said, dire wolves are they're so vicious and strong that it does make sense to have them in this battle. Even like, that was sort of the thing with Robb. Robb let his dire wolf, I don't remember his wolf's name, but he, like, before they would even attack, the dire wolf went and killed a couple dudes. Like, it worked. It's cool and it's clever. I wrote down the wall trap. That was interesting. So they just, like, was that, like, installed in the wall, basically? I guess, sort of. Yeah, so it's like this anchor that's on the wall, and then they just release it, and it just sweeps across and takes anyone in its path. That was really cool and really clever. Again, I love, even though, to be fair, this is a pretty standard battle, I suppose, but there were a lot of moments of, like, this is really clever, and, like, no one's, like, I wouldn't have thought of this, have a trap on the wall, have, throw down a bunch of barrels and stuff. I mean, throwing things off the wall, that does make sense, but then, like, having the archers sort of, lean off of the wall and fire to get people off the wall, that's also clever. And then on the other side, the fact that, it's like, not only do we have giants, but we also have mammoths that are coming to attack the wall, which is cool. And then the last thing I wrote down was assassination. So Jon's plan is to go by himself to kill Mance Rayder, because once he does that, the wildlings fall apart, which does make sense. They've said, like, the wildlings can't work together. They just want to kill each other. And that's the thing, is that it is such a big deal that Mance was able to do this, because you can't get the wildlings to work together, but Mance did. So it does make sense that, Jon would think, and Jon, who has been in there, who has seen the wildlings up front, firsthand, it's like he understands that if you take Mance out of the equation, the wildlings fall apart. It's not a great strategy, but, it's not a great plan to try to one man try to go kill Mance Rayder in the middle of all these wildlings, but it's better than nothing. And this is the only thing they have left. So, yeah, we'll see if Jon can pull that off. I don't know. But, yeah, that is basically that. Really love this episode, and it'll be interesting to see where we go next episode and in the future with these episodes. And Darby's getting up. No, wait, he's just going to another place to sleep. Yay, cool. Whatever. Yeah, I'm looking at you. Go back to sleep. Cool. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Game of Thrones reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.